Okay, welcome.
Woohoo!
Stick Horses fans. It's our first podcast ever.
First one ever.
Where there might be some bumps in the road.
Podcast.
That's a bump right there. So let's introduce ourselves. I am Amelia. I am Gray Shirt. Amelia Gray Shirt, you may call me. Level 12 elf.
I'm Chris. I am black.
Black shirt.
Black shirt.
White Caucasian.
Chris, no middle name, black shirt is my name. Level 13, half orc.
Nice.
Yeah.
Joshua, purple shirt. No level. The half dwarf.
He's still making his character sheet. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not filled out.
I'm Lacey, green shirt, and I'm sad to admit that I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I have played a game called Descent that I understand is similar.
Well,
But I was a character that was like a hobbit only because it was a thief character.
Right?
No, it was a thief character.
Oh, okay. Well, despite what we have just said, or what you might think, this is not a Dungeons and Dragons podcast that we're making right now. We're going to be talking about different things.
That's right. And this week's topic is heroes and villains in movies.
Not in Dungeons and Dragons.
No, not in Dungeons and Dragons. And who we think the best hero is and who we think the worst villain is. I guess that would be the best villain would be
And
the
the worst
villain.
hero.
Right. So who would like to open the table up for discussion?
I would like to open up with the proposition of the movie Maleficent, showing that Angelina Jolie's character Maleficent was both villain and hero.
Oh.
Though it can be argued that the king was really truly the villain because he was the one that made her into the mean-spirited person, that the maleficent person that she was, but she was also the hero by showing true love for the young one that she brought out of sleep.
I have never seen this movie, and it sounds weird.
It was based on the Disney version of Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
In the regular fairy tale Sleeping Beauty, there wasn't a character named Maleficent, but in the Disney version there was. And in the, I guess you'd call it a live action remake, sort of, Angelina Jolie plays the character Maleficent, who not only brings Sleeping Beauty into her place of sleep, but also brings her out of it by being the one to be her, to love her truly, but more like a mother and child love.
Do they explain how she gets her dragon power?
She's a fairy. That's why she has horns and all that stuff. She just, in the beginning of the movie, she started out as a normal, regular fairy who was just cursed with the name Maleficent. I don't know how that doesn't just give you a horrible life by naming you that. It's like, here's my child, I'm going to name him Putrid and just see what happens.
I'm going to name my child Sushi Vomit.
Right?
I think this is going to work out well for this kid.
Sushi Vomit, Esquire. Angelina Jolie, also good guy and bad guy in Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Very true.
Yeah. So welcome to our Angelina Jolie podcast.
I'm going to break the Angelina Jolie rant. I guess I know. And I'm going to say best good guy, and this might be a little, cliche, Luke Skywalker.
Oh, no.
I know. Wind in the hair, 70s feathering going on with the tunic and the wanting to save the princess and going through the whole hero's journey. I just think that is absolutely classic.
But he was such a whiny hiney during the hero's journey.
No, see, you guys are whining about him whining now, so this is like Inception.
I'm entitled to whine because I'm not called upon to save the Force.
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll see. I'll keep my fingers crossed. No, he whined, but it wasn't a whining in like he didn't want to be the hero.
You have to think
like
that
in
his
the hero's
whining is
journey.
genetic. You can't blame him because his father was also very whiny, and so it's like whining is passed down through his genes. I mean, that's like, that's like having brown hair. It's just something you can't help.
I hate sand.
Yeah.
And then look where his son ended up. I get why he's a sourpuss now.
Right. Joshua, hero, villain. What do you think?
Well, I will have to go with, because I recently saw The Princess Bride at the Paramount Theater in Denver. I have to go with my favorite hero of all time, Cary Elwes' The Man in Black.
Yes.
Yes, we got to meet him in person.
That's
which
a
is
good
very
one.
fun.
What?
We got to meet
That's
him in
awesome.
person.
I
Very
almost
charming
named
guy.
my son Wesley because of that movie, but his father wouldn't allow it because his last name is Spice, and Wesley Spice sounds an awful lot like Wesley Snipes, and so he nixed that one. True story.
Oh
I think,
man, that was
Cary-
back when Wesley Snipes was relevant,
Right,
right?
yeah. Nobody listening to this right now has no idea who Wesley Snipes is. Cary Elwes is interesting because he can also play a very good villain.
He
when
actually brought
is.
that up during his
Yeah.
talk.
What did he say?
Well, I won't repeat it because I
Right.
think we might have people under the age of
Yeah,
innocence
definitely.
listening to this. But he
I'll live censor
essentially
it. I'll
said
live censor
that people said he plays a really good villain.
Yes, absolutely.
But a different
Days of
word
Thunder.
for villain.
The
Days of
Jungle Book.
Right. I think he was the bad guy in.
He was in L.A.
It was
Enchanted.
hot. It was the Charlie Sheen.
Oh, Hot Shots.
Hot Shots. That's
Yes.
it. Again, a movie that none of you have probably seen because it was made like 20 years ago.
I've
but-
seen it, but I can't remember him as the villain in that one.
Yeah, he was like the Val Kilmer of Hot Shots.
Oh yeah.
Val
I was
Kilmer.
thinking part D.
Val Kilmer. What do we feel
Okay.
about Val Kilmer?
Val Kilmer, best hero.
Uh-huh.
Not even as a character, just he is a hero of mine.
Okay. Why?
Are you kidding? He's Val Kilmer. I don't know that much about the guy. I respect him.
He was in a really bad Batman.
He was in the worst.
No.
George
Clooney was in the worst
Batman.
Batman. You are being voted out. Yes.
No, because I think that movie was a prank. And it was a really good prank.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
everybody fell for it.
So he's the worst movie in a legitimate Batman movie, is what you're
Okay,
saying.
no,
Or-
greatest.
yeah,
Okay, I'll get greatest villain.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
Wait, you said that movie was a prank.
Right. So
Yeah.
that would make him the greatest villain. Very meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Actually,
but generally, the greatest villain I think is the Joker.
From,
If that's not too cliche. I think the Joker character as a whole is the greatest.
Okay.
I specifically like.
even the
Heath
newest one
Ledger.
in
Suicide
Suicide
Squad?
Squad. Do you
Oh
think
no, that's not the Joker.
It's not the
that's
Joker.
Jared Leto?
That's Jared Leto being himself. I
They just put a camera in his house and just watched him do
think.
things.
Yeah.
They're like, this is great.
They just said, "Hey, Margot, go talk
Right.
to Jared."
But then they
And
edited
then
it. They
yeah.
edited most of it out
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
I know that it had a really horrible ending, but did you guys ever get into Lost?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Ben was a really amazing villain. And
was.
and I don't know the name of the actor who portrayed him, but I have to imagine that in real life he's actually like a super sweet guy, and that his wife would watch him in Lost and go, "Who are you?" Because he was so like, he'd get so
Yeah, he
under
was
my
icky.
skin.
That
He was
is-
so good at playing a terrible
He's
person.
a good example of like a villain who doesn't do villainy things through power, just
through
like
manipulation.
manipulation and like all these seedy back things.
That's why I think he's an amazing villain, because it's so real.
And did you follow it to the end?
Yeah.
Because at the end, I actually ended up feeling very sorry for him.
He had a turnaround,
He did.
but like characters like that this is me being very cynical. Characters like that have turnarounds in TV shows, I think, because they want to keep them on and make money.
Right.
Because people want to watch them.
I don't know.
So let's think of some more villains, because we've kind of broached the subject of villains. We've got heroes. So the worst villain that you can think of, and we could take worst in a variety of ways. Like the worst made villain, or the worst villain as in the best villain, I guess you could say. Okay, I'm going to throw out something there that's very controversial, and Chris, you might
I'm just gonna
defriend
pluck-
me
I'm
after
gonna
this,
pluck my
apparently.
ears.
Darth Maul was a very good villain
Yeah.
if he was just not given his due. He was cut in half and end of story, but like when you first saw him...
He was cut to make room for talking about sand.
Right. Maybe he's like a lizard, and when you cut him in half, like two of them sprout out.
Ooh.
I know, yeah. But when I just remember first seeing him in like the posters and in the trailers, and I was like, oh, that is cool. Like, that's awesome.
Here's my thing about Darth Maul. He played this ominous presence that kind of trailed throughout most of the movie, but I think that the actor who played him had to have worked for scale, because I don't even think he had 12
Right.
12 words of lines.
Yeah,
So he's a pretty famous actor, though. He's a he's like a stunt guy.
He's a dude who played the frog in X-Men.
Yes, Toad.
Toad.
No, I think he was super cool. He was written poorly with
Yes.
his lines.
Yes.
Either make him silent or make him
Yeah.
like give him more lines
Right.
than that.
It made
I
me
think
feel bad for him that he didn't have very many lines.
If we're talking about Star Wars, if we're talking about the character that did the most bad in the universe, I would have to say that would be Jar Jar Binks.
That's a
That's
bad
true.
prank.
I mean, his actions.
That's a bad prank.
His actions did lead to the
His
forming
action-
of the
the
Empire.
From his story arc was him bumbling around until he gets a mass genocide to come about.
Have you heard the theory that he's actually a dark Sith Lord, and like everything he does is for a purpose, and then
yeah.
he actually is like, you know, what style of like the drunken judo or whatever.
Yeah,
like
Yes,
he
I
could-
read that article.
yeah. What'd you think about that?
That was a lovely thing to read through. And all the little screenshots to prove the fan theory points.
Yeah, halfway through, you're like, what am I doing with my life?
Here's the
What am I
thing.
doing?
I think that George Lucas is about as smart as Jar Jar Binks. I don't think he has the forethought to do that. I don't think he could pull something like that together.
Reddit users could, but not
Yeah.
Lucas.
Anyone on the internet with enough resources could do that.
Just about.
So speaking of Darths, what about the same Darth in different movies? Darth Vader in Episode 3, when he becomes Darth Vader, versus Darth Vader in the new Rogue One.
Ooh.
Darth Vader, Episode 3 versus Darth Vader, Rogue One.
I would even say that Darth Vader in Rogue One is more evil than Darth Vader in Episode 4, which is weird because they're only supposed to be like 15 minutes apart at the end.
Yeah.
But he's like,
Totally.
he's, you know, force slamming people out of airlocks and stuff. And then he gets the princess. He's like, I need those plans. Okay, here's a scary
Give me the
robot with
plans.
a needle. It's coming closer. Better watch out. It's just like,
You're
why
gonna
don't
get
you
vaccinated.
just force choke her? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
He was always a gentleman, though. Always a gentleman. He fought for his children to live, and then he killed their mom. I don't know. It gets kind of convoluted there at the end.
oh, he's a
He
gentleman.
didn't kill her. She died of a broken heart.
Yeah, Chris.
Well, who broke her heart?
Oh, it's true, but it's not like he force choked her.
Well,
Force broke her
No,
heart.
she wasn't killed.
he force choked
She
her and
lost
then
the will to live.
Yes. And let's also have a side comment about how large those twins were when she obviously was not carrying to term.
yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
get frustrated with the casting people bringing on these quote-unquote infants that are obviously already 3 months old, and they just cover them in baby goo and expect us to believe that they're newborns.
Just make them fake, like American Sniper.
Yeah, seriously.
Or
Fix every
or that
problem.
one season of Friends.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think what makes really engaging and dynamic villain would be the motivations. I'm trying to think of something good now. Norman Bates is like such a rich character and rich villain. It's because he had some, weird but good, and clear, strong motivations.
Right.
Am I the only one that thinks that Norman Bates is just like a Hollywood legend that isn't really that spectacular anymore and is only that spectacular because he's a legend? I guess I am. Sorry.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but
I watched it again last year or
the
so.
old one, right?
The old one.
Okay.
Not Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, I forgot that was Vince Vaughn. in the
It's
new
Vince
one.
Vaughn.
Oof.
Not Vince Vaughn. He's not crashing a wedding in a nightgown. No, the old one. I was so surprised at how good that guy's. Don't know who played him. I forgot who played him, but how good his performance was.
I even saw the Bates Motel series on Netflix with his like backstory and everything.
Yeah.
With Charlie and the Charlie Factory.
Yeah,
Charlie and
In
the
the
Charlie.
Charlie Factory.
they do put out a lot of
They
Charlies.
just
That would be
push out those
terrifying.
Charlies.
Oh my God.
Or something. Heimler.
Charlie, congratulations, you won my contest.
Charlie
Now I'm going to
Factory.
make chocolate models of you.
Or even
Horrible
more twisted, he
cloning
just makes a
accident.
bunch of Charlies and then he puts one in charge. Like a weird social experiment.
Would it be Charlie
Like
in
Boba
charge?
Charlie in charge of my days and my nights.
Okay, we need to write this down. Next skit, Charlie in charge. Just to bring this back to improv, because I feel like we should. How do you incorporate a good villain into an improv scene? Is there a way to have a good villain and still have a good improv scene?
Well, any good improv scene is about relationships. So I think that having a villain and a hero makes for a very dynamic scene,
Yeah.
for sure. I think if you're trying to keep the humor in it, we're not necessarily looking at killing people or watching people take showers through peepholes or taxidermy or anything like that. But I think that having any good reason to be disliked is a good villain, at least when we're talking about a on-the-spot, under 5-minute
Yeah.
improvised open scene.
And villains don't have to be these evil presence, evil
Nefarious
things.
mustache twirling.
A villain can be, like in an improv scene, a villain can be a boss who's getting on the workers for...
Or a mother-in-law who's just a
a
nag.
mother-in-law nagging, yeah.
Or the big brother who pushes the little kid around or whatever.
A
Yeah.
simple antagonist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, that was our first podcast on heroes and villains in movies. I assume we're going to put this on some sort of
Wait.
social media platform.
Wait.
Yeah.
One last thing.
Oh, God.
One last villain for you to ponder.
Ooh, pondering.
Is this like a homework question?
It's a homework question.
Says Amelia the teacher.
Nicolas Cage's body in Face Off.
And with that,
Thank you for listening.
thank you for listening. We are so I mean, we should just end every podcast with an apology. I feel like
I agree.
a general apology to
We're
everyone.
sorry, and we'll see you next
Yes.
time.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay. Welcome,
Woohoo!
Stick Horses
Yay.
fans. It's our first podcast ever.
First
Ever.
one ever.
There might be some bumps in the road.
Podcast.
That's a bump right there. So let's introduce ourselves. I am Amelia. I am Gray Shirt. Amelia Gray Shirt. you may call me.
Uh,
Level 12 elf.
I'm Chris. I am black.
Black shirt,
Black shirt.
white Caucasian.
Chris, no middle name, black shirt is my name. Level 13, half orc.
Nice.
Yeah.
Joshua, purple shirt. No level. The half dwarf.
He's still making his character sheet. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not filled out.
I'm Lacey, green shirt, and I'm sad to admit that I've never played Dungeons and Dragons.